The requirement for a rabbi's letter in the Aliyah process represents one of the most delicate intersections between religious identity and state bureaucracy in modern Jewish life. For those seeking to immigrate to Israel under the law of return, this document serves as both validation and verification, a bridge between personal faith and official recognition. The Israeli government requires this letter specifically from individuals who converted to Judaism, as it provides rabbinical confirmation of the conversion's validity according to Jewish law. The letter must come from the rabbi who performed the conversion or who can attest to its legitimacy, creating an official paper trail that connects the convert's spiritual journey to their legal status. This requirement acknowledges that Jewish identity, particularly through conversion, involves more than personal declaration. It requires communal recognition and rabbinical oversight. The content of such letters follows a formal structure, though the tone may vary depending on the rabbi's relationship with the applicant. The letter must be written on official synagogue or rabbinical letterhead, lending institutional authority to the personal attestation. Crucially, the letter must explicitly state that the rabbi knows the applicant personally and detail exactly how they know them, whether as their converting rabbi, their congregational rabbi, or through ongoing pastoral relationship. This personal attestation requirement prevents fraudulent documentation and ensures genuine rabbinical oversight. For those born Jewish, the letter must clearly state that the individual was born to a Jewish mother, establishing matrilineal Jewish status according to traditional Jewish law. For converts, the letter must then confirm that the conversion was conducted according to halakha, Jewish religious law, and that the individual has demonstrated sincere commitment to living a Jewish life. Many rabbis include details about the conversion process itself, the period of study, the acceptance of mitzvot, the ritual immersion in a mikveh, and the presence of a valid Beit Din or rabbinical court. What makes this requirement particularly significant is its recognition that Jewish identity exists within a communal framework. The rabbi's letter doesn't merely confirm facts. It represents the Jewish community's acceptance of the individual as a full member. For many converts, requesting this letter becomes an emotional milestone, a moment when their chosen identity receives formal acknowledgement from religious authority. The Israeli rabbinate's standards for accepting these letters can be stringent, sometimes requiring additional verification or documentation. Not every rabbi's letter carries equal weight with Israeli authorities. Some rabbis may have their letters rejected entirely, particularly if they are not recognized by the Israeli establishment or if their conversions are deemed invalid according to Israeli rabbinical standards. Orthodox conversions are generally accepted without question, while conservative and reform conversions may face greater scrutiny, reflecting ongoing denominational tensions within Israeli society. Even within Orthodox circles, certain rabbis may find their authority questioned if they are not well established within recognized rabbinical networks. This creates a complex landscape where the rabbi's letter becomes not just documentation, but a statement about the nature of Jewish identity itself, and where the rabbi's own standing can determine the letter's acceptance or rejection. For the rabbi writing such a letter, the responsibility extends beyond mere paperwork. They are vouching for an individual's Jewish status before the Israeli state, aware that this document may determine someone's eligibility for citizenship and their place within Israeli society. The requirement that the rabbi must personally know the applicant and specify the nature of their relationship adds another layer of accountability. The rabbi cannot simply rely on documentation or hearsay, but must have direct, personal knowledge of the individual's Jewish journey. This might mean stating, "I have served as Sarah's rabbi for 3 years since her conversion," or "I conducted David's conversion and have maintained pastoral contact with him for the past 5 years. Many rabbis approach this task with deep seriousness, understanding that their words carry weight in both religious and civic realms. The process often requires the rabbi to maintain detailed records of conversions, including documentation of the Beit Din members, witnesses present, and the specific rituals performed. Some rabbis keep extensive files on each convert, knowing that years or even decades later, they may be called upon to provide verification for Aliyah purposes. This requirement also reflects Israel's complex relationship with diaspora Judaism. While the law of return was designed to provide refuge for all Jews, the rabbinical letter requirement acknowledges that Jewish identity itself is not uniformly defined across different communities and movements. The letter becomes a way of navigating these differences, providing a mechanism for individual evaluation rather than blanket acceptance or rejection. For converts contemplating Aliyah, understanding this requirement often shapes their conversion experience from the beginning. Many choose to convert through rabbis and communities specifically with future Aliyah in mind, seeking conversions that will be readily accepted by Israeli authorities. The personal knowledge requirement also creates practical challenges for those who have moved geographically or lost contact with their converting rabbi over time. Some find themselves in the difficult position of needing to establish new relationships with rabbis who can attest to their ongoing Jewish practice and identity, a process that can take years of active community involvement. This practical consideration can influence deeply personal spiritual decisions, adding another layer of complexity to an already profound life change. The emotional weight of requesting this letter should not be underestimated. For many, it represents a moment of vulnerability, asking their rabbi to officially endorse their Jewish identity for review by distant authorities. The rabbi's response, whether immediate and supportive or hesitant and questioning, can profoundly impact the convert's sense of belonging and validation within the Jewish community.